In December 2023, an interview with Tupolev's managing director, Vadim Korolev, revealed notable details about the Russian aircraft maker's path forward. In October 2023, Tupolev celebrated its 101st anniversary, marking over a century in operation. Korolev discussed the transformation of Tupolev's newly established final assembly workshop in Kazan. Originally intended to produce the future PAC-DA strategic bomber, it has been redesignated to assemble the Tu-214 aircraft instead. This signals a renewed focus on the Tu-214 program. The 2010s were a turbulent period for Tupolev. None of their newly proposed airliners entered civil aviation services like the Tu-334 and Tu-214 SM. Production of the Tu-214 ceased, and Tupolev's Ulyanovsk facility was transferred to Ilyushin. The Tu-214 itself was deemed too expensive for commercial operations at the time. Tupolev turned its attention away from civil aviation to building aircraft like the Superjet and MC-21 for military purposes. However, fortunes began shifting in 2015. The Russian leadership revived the Tu-160 strategic bomber program by modernizing it to the Tu-160M standard. Interest also re-emerged in developing potential military variants of the Tu-214 for roles like electronic warfare and maritime patrol. With these initiatives, Tupolev's prospects in long-range aviation took on greater importance. Tupolev's ties to the Kazan aircraft plant in Tatarstan, its primary manufacturing center, strengthened over the years. In 2020, it was revealed that Kazan aircraft plant was preparing for extensive aircraft testing. Rumors even circulated about Tupolev potentially relocating to Kazan, the capital of Tatarstan, a region that had done much to support Kazan aircraft plant during the tumultuous 1990s. The cessation of aviation imports into Russia due to sanctions in the spring of 2022 allowed the president of Tatarstan to realize his strategic vision. His proposal to restart Tu-214 production after a 15-year hiatus received backing from Russia's government, including 41.8 billion rubles, which is $500 million in funding from the National Wealth Fund. Despite some skepticism, civilian refurbishment of the Kazan aircraft plant began in late 2022 to allow for the resumption of Tu-214 manufacturing and the development of the following generation. New workshops are being built for machining, assembling, and a final assembly line that mimics automotive production principles. While some see the Tu-214 as a competitor to the MC-21 airliner, Tupolev sees them as complementing products necessary to accomplish Russia's ambitious goal of 600 new civil aircraft by 2030. The Tu-214 will use some MC-21 technology, notably as the two-crew cockpit design. In addition to the Tu-214 restart, Tupolev is aiming to convert Russia's existing fleet of Tu-22M3 bombers to the enhanced Tu-22M3M design, with only a few aircraft anticipated at first. Regarding the transfer of the two-crew cockpit from the Tu-204 SM to the Tu-214, Korolev said that, while the Tu-204 SM's cockpit design was innovative when certified 13 years ago, it is now out of date. Many of the engineers that worked on the Tu-204 SM later shifted to the MC-21 program at Irkut or Yakovlev. Rather than immediately transferring the previous Tu-204 SM cockpit, Tupolev intends to adapt the more modern two-crew cockpit system from the MC-21 for the Tu-214. Regarding the two remaining Tu-204 SM aircraft in storage, Korolev indicated that they belong to the Ulyanovsk facility and that someone is interested in purchasing and restoring them to operative status. When asked if Tupolev still plans to develop the proposed Tu-330 military transport, Korolev responded that the corporation is now completely focused on strategic, special mission, and civil aircraft programs, while prior statements indicated building military adaptations for the Tu-214. Korolev confirmed that such variants are still a possibility for the aircraft. Korolev stated that while present contracts only cover a few aircraft, Tupolev is capable of modernizing the whole fleet, if tasked. Finally, the Tu-334 prototype remains at the Kazan plant. Korolev, which flew on it years ago, described it as a fantastic aircraft design and stated that the prototype will be kept and preserved rather than scrapped. Import substitution initiatives for the majority of Tu-214 components required minor tweaks rather than full-scale new development. However, several aspects are currently being developed to find domestic equivalents. The Tu-214 will continue to use the existing PS-90A turbofan engine. The Russians perceive little need for large changes, as only minor gains in efficiency or thrust could be gained. Such investments are not justifiable when the engine is still functional. If a re-engineering program is continued in the future, it will most likely include an entirely new engine design, rather than further developing the PS-90A. Tupolev intends to boost Tu-214 output from 1 to 2 aircraft per year to approximately 10 times that level, albeit with some initial delays owing to ramping up capacity. The first deliveries will be specially configured Tu-214s to Aeroflot and the Rossiya state airline, with additional commercial and government customers to follow. Tupolev now has a firm order from Aeroflot for 11 Tu-214 aircraft, with the airline group expressing an interest in up to 40 more. The order was placed through the leasing company Aviation Capital Service. Deliveries will be staged in accordance with Russia's overarching aviation sector growth program through 2030. Tupolev signed contracts for 11 aircraft in the first batch, received advance payments, started production, and delivered the first few planes. Metal procurement and component production for the first 5 aircraft have begun via Tupolev's supplier network. At the Kazan plant, 1 aircraft is already in the final assembly workshop, while 4 to 5 others are being assembled as sub-assemblies and panels. In June, Korolev stated definite contracts for 20 Tu-214s, letters of intent for 67 more, and queries from possible clients regarding another 61 aircraft. He added that definite orders with commercial airlines had previously been confirmed, while additional orders came from the Special Flight Squadron, Rossiya, which flies Russian leaders and other special government customers. Korolev stated that his prior estimate of 150 aircraft predicted demand through 2033, as certain programs continue that long. However, the objective is to deliver 115 Tu-214s by 2030. New production totals include both commercial and special mission aircraft. According to media reports, the Special Flight Squadron will refresh its fleet with new Tu-214s as part of this program, which represents a significant guaranteed demand source for Tupolev. Regarding maintenance, Korolev indicated that any organization certified for the Tu-214, including Capo Avia, the Kazan Aviation plant itself, and Tupolev Technic, could service the new aircraft. However, Aeroflot and Year Engineering also intend to get certification to operate as maintenance providers, allowing operators to select their preferred sites. Now, do you think the Russian Tu-214 are fuel efficient for Russian airlines to fly, or it will raise cost of air travel in Russia? Let us know in the comments. We discuss such interesting subjects every day. Please subscribe to the channel and share and like the videos.